Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. This is Chandani from Pun Vidyashram School. Welcome back to the session. This session is the continuation of separation of substances. In the previous session, we have learned about the different methods used to separate different substances. Such as hand picking, sieving, threshing, winnowing, and also we have learned the separation of soluble solids from liquids such as sedimentation, decantation, and filtration. In this session, we will learn the separation of soluble solids from liquids. Evaporation. The process in which a liquid changes into its vapor is called evaporation. This method is used to separate a mixture that contains a soluble solid and a liquid. The process of evaporation takes place continuously wherever water is present. Where do you think salt comes from? Seawater contains many salts mixed in it. One of these salts is the common salt. When seawater is allowed to stand in shallow pits, water gets heated by sunlight and slowly turns into water vapor through evaporation. In a few days, the water evaporates completely, leaving behind the solid salts. Common salt is then obtained from this mixture of salts by further purification. Can you guess a method to separate the mixture of salt and sand? Let us perform an activity to separate the mixture of salt and sand. To perform this activity, we need a mixture of salt and sand, filter paper, burner, and beaker, test tube, and water. Collect a mixture of salt and sand. Take the mixture of salt and sand in a beaker. Add water to the mixture in a beaker. Now, place a filter paper cone in a funnel and set the funnel on a test tube. Pass the mixture through the filter paper. Heat the mixture collected in the test tube. What did you observe? Sand remains behind on the filter paper while the salt and water passes through it and is collected in the test tube. Upon heating the mixture of salt and water, salt is left behind while the water evaporates. From this we can conclude filtration and evaporation are used one after the other to separate the mixture of salt and sand. Thus, more than one method can be used to separate the components of a mixture. In the previous activity, we learned how to separate and collect sand and salt from their mixture separately. What if we also needed to collect the water used in the mixture? Let us perform an activity to separate water and common salt from their mixture. To perform this activity, we need some salt and water mixture, a kettle, a metal plate, some ice cubes, and Bunsen burner. Take the mixture of salt and water in a kettle and close its lid and heat it over the burner. Do you notice steam coming out from the spout of the kettle? Now, place a few ice cubes over the plate and hold the metal plate above the spout of the kettle. Collect the water droplets dripping from the metal plate in a beaker. What do you observe? When the steam comes in contact with the metal plate cooled with ice, it condenses and forms liquid water. The water drops that you observed falling from the plate were due to condensation. The process of conversion of water vapor into its liquid form is called condensation. What is condensation? It is a process of converting water vapor into water on cooling. When you take out a bottle of water from the refrigerator, tiny drops of water appear on the bottle after some time. This happens because the water vapor present in the air condenses on the cool surface of the bottle and changes into drops of water. Distillation. In this method of separation, we use the process of evaporation followed by condensation to obtain pure liquid from a solution. The process of obtaining pure liquid from a solution is called distillation. What is distillation? The process of obtaining pure liquid from a solution is called distillation. In order to obtain pure water from a salt water, we take the salt water in a flask and heat the flask till the steam comes out of it. We will see the steam getting collected inside the beaker in the form of water. The steam condenses and reaches the beaker and salt left behind the flask. This method is used to separate soluble solids from liquids. Let us learn about solutions and solubility. When one or more substances dissolve in another substance, the resulting mixture is called a solution. The substance that is dissolved is called the solute, and the substance in which the solute dissolves is called the solvent. For example, if we want to prepare sugar solution, we will add sugar into water. The sugar will dissolve in water to get sugar solution. The sugar which dissolves in water is called solute, and the water which dissolves sugar is called solvent. What is solute? The substance that is dissolved is called the solute, and the substance in which the solute dissolves is called the solvent. What is solution? When one or more substances dissolve in another substances, the resulting mixture is called a solution. I hope now you understood what is solute, solvent and solution. Can water dissolve any amount of a substance? In chapter 4, we found that many substances dissolve in water and form a solution. We say that these substances are soluble in water. What will happen if we go on adding more and more of these substances to a fixed quantity of water? Let us understand the types of solution. Pour off a cup of water in the beaker. Add 1 teaspoon of salt and stir it well until the salt dissolves completely. Again, add a teaspoon of salt and stir well. Go on adding salt 1 teaspoon at a time and stir. After adding a few spoons of salt, do you find that salt remains undissolved and settles at the bottom of the beaker? If yes, this means that no more salt can be dissolved in the amount of water we have taken. This solution is now said to be saturated. So this is called saturated solution. What is saturated solution? A solution is said to be saturated when a solvent can dissolve no more of a solute at a particular temperature. What can be done to dissolve the salt in the mixture? Yes, we can add a large quantity of water. Suppose if we do not have sufficient quantity of water to dissolve all the salt in the mixture, what we will do? Yes, we will heat the Solution. When a saturated solution is heated, it becomes capable of dissolving more solute. That is, on heating, a saturated solution becomes unsaturated and is able to dissolve more solute. In home, while preparing sugar solution, we will add more sugar in less quantity of water. In this, we will find that the sugar will not dissolve completely, but when we heat this mixture, all the sugar dissolves. From this we can say a saturated solution on heating becomes unsaturated solution and is able to dissolve more solute. What is saturated solution? A solution is said to be saturated when a solvent can dissolve no more of a solute at a particular temperature. What is unsaturated solution? A solution is said to be unsaturated when the solvent is capable of dissolving more of a solute than it already contains at the same temperature. For example, adding a spoonful of sugar to a cup of hot coffee produces an unsaturated sugar solution. Supersaturated solution. A solution is said to be supersaturated when it contains more of the solute that could be dissolved by a solvent under normal conditions. Carbonated water is an example of supersaturated solution. Let me summarize the lesson. A pure substance consists of only one kind of particles. A mixture is made up of two or more pure substances in any proportions. The process of handpicking is used to separate pebbles, husks and small insects from grains and pulses. Sieving is done to separate a mixture of two solids, each having particles of different sizes. Threshing is the process of beating out the grains from the stalks. The process of separating grains from the chaff by allowing them to fall from a height is known as winnowing. Sedimentation and decantation can be used to separate an insoluble solids from a liquid. Filtration is the process of separating the insoluble impurities from a liquid by using a filter paper. The process in which a liquid changes into its vapor state is called evaporation. The process of converting water vapor into water on cooling is called condensation. Homogeneous mixture of solute and solvent is called solution. A solution which cannot dissolve more of a solute in it at given temperature is called saturated solution. In this chapter, we learned how we can obtain salt from seawater. But can we also obtain potable water from the sea? Potable water is nothing but drinking water. We have a vast resource of solar energy, which is a renewable source of energy. It can be used to produce potable water from seawater by solar distillation process. In this process, potable water is produced in the same way as nature produces rain. The sun's heat evaporates water, separating the water vapor from salt or impurities. This water condenses on the inner surface of the dome. The water thus formed trickles into another container where it is collected for use. Although we have huge amount of seawater and abundant sunlight, we are still far from using these resources for meeting the daily water requirements of the entire population. Therefore, we must ensure that we use the available freshwater resources judiciously. Thank you.